today. Thank you so much for those of you that are joining in person and those that are on the live stream. For those of you that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Michelle Ravitsky. I am the Interim Executive Director of LYNX Project. It is so special to share this space with you all this afternoon to celebrate the work of LYNX Project throughout the past 9 fulfilling years. When we began putting the program together for this final event, we thought, what better way than to showcase some of our favorite pieces from our Amplify series and to highlight what has come out of the composition of a city programming. We have a very exciting program in store for you all, as well as some very special guests. I'm eager to get it all started, but before we do so, I want to go over a couple of practicalities. We hope you all make yourself comfortable in the space. As you see, we have couches set up and chairs. Feel free to move about the space throughout the program. We do also have a sensory-friendly space just outside and around the corner. Our wonderful occupational therapist, Andy, is out there, and she'll lead you in that direction should you need to use that space. This afternoon, you will hear singing and piano of various volumes. There will be high sounds and low sounds, soft sounds and loud sounds. You'll hear music that sounds like opera. You may hear some music that sounds like pop music, others that sound like musical theater. We ask that there is no clapping today at our event. Instead, we ask that you please snap your fingers or wave your hands to show your appreciation and support. We also welcome fidgets, headphones, and stimming in our concert space. Thank you so much for helping this event be more sensory friendly. The words of the poetry will be projected here on this screen this afternoon. There is a QR code for you to follow along with the program. I think there's also some pop-ups around you, but you can also scan it from that screen there. Wonderful. Also, we have a live painter here in the back, in case you haven't noticed. We have Lewis back there. And so he'll be painting some scenes throughout today's performance. And he also has his own artwork there for sale, should you want to explore. Awesome. So we should just be about ready to kick off this afternoon's program. And to do so, we'd like to show a video message from our Chair of the Board of Directors, Robyn LK.
Hi, LYNX community. It's Robyn LK, your Chair of the Board of Directors. Thank you so much for coming to our culminating event for LYNX Project. I am so sorry that I cannot be there with you in person. I'm reporting to you now from Portland, Oregon, where I've made my home. The work of LYNX is never done. Period, full stop. The ripple effects that are going to come from everything that you all have contributed, from the performers themselves to the poets who are writing the incredible texts, the composers that are setting them to music, all of the students and educators who have been part of composition of a city, our Amplify Council, every single voice matters. And you know that because you're a part of the LYNX community. And this work does not stop here. While we're very sad to see the end of this fiscal year coming fast, we are also so heartened by the connections, the links that we've made over the years. And I think by now you all know the ripple effects that this work has. You know that we are impacting the next generation of musicians, poets, creatives, artists. It's all part of our everyday life now. It is part of the fabric of who we are. And I trust and I empower you to take this message on with you to the future of your lives. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited for the program you're going to see. I'm so thrilled that you're able to be in person in one of my favorite cities in the world, Chicago. I'm missing you, I'm thinking of you, I'm listening to the arts that you're creating today, and I empower you to take LYNX with you because we all know that every voice deserves to be heard. Have a great afternoon. Hi, LYNX.
All right. For our first performance of the afternoon, I'd love to introduce LYNX's Artistic Director, Florence, and soprano, Olivia. They will be performing Beautiful Small Things, composed by Emily Cooley, and with text by Ryan Harris. The text of this piece was the impetus for the Amplify series, as the 4 LYNX founding members were so moved by Ryan's words, and just knew that it had to be shared with the world. The title of this piece is even the name of LYNX album, which is available on Spotify and Apple Music. I hope you enjoy.
Thank you, Olivia and Florence, for that beautiful musical start for today's event. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Stephen Humes. I'm one of the founding members of LYNX Project, and it is a real joy to be here with you all today and to share in this community and in this celebration. And I want to just say a special thanks to Michelle and Florence for the heart that they put into organizing today's event and for bringing us here because, one, we're in really good hands, and two, they put so much thought into this. And so I really invite you to sit back and move around the space if you feel like, I don't want to be in this chair right now. And just be with us because we really care about you. And I'm really moved to be here. I also traveled from Philadelphia this morning, so I prepared a couple remarks because they A, asked me to prepare a couple remarks, and B, because, I don't know. So I have a little bit of a story, and I hope you can just give me a moment to go through this. There's going to be a mix of talking, and there's going to be a mix of performances, and so you get to hear me talk instead of perform. So in preparation for today's event, an important time of celebration of reflection, I thought to myself, well, what am I going to say? What do you say? And, well, then I started to go on a bit of a treasure hunt, and I looked through LYNX Project's founding documents. And a special shout out to Google Drive, because Google Drive has kept good care of our founding documents over the past 8 years, and I was able to look at them and to really think about what did Caitleen, myself, Florence, and Megan think about when we decided we wanted to start an organization like LYNX Project. And there was in that document, in that folder of founding documents, there was a document called Naming the Project. I was like, click, gotta look at that one. Side note, I have these documents here on my phone, and we can talk about it. I'm going to show you more than just this one. But in this document, it said, okay, what are we going to name this? We were 4 graduates of Eastman just wanting to connect with audiences through music and through song. So we said, okay, well, we could be Songs of Travel. We could be Ring of Words. This document even had a link to a TED Talk from Tokyo called Play This Word Game to come up with your original ideas. Take a moment and think about if we weren't called LYNX Project. We chose one of those things. Just think about that for a minute. We all know LYNX Project as being something. And we were really just thinking about this idea of connecting and never ceasing to be engaging because music has that ability. So we had a long time, this is 2015, and we thought, okay, we're going to go with LYNX Project. LYNX Project. Well, great. But have you ever thought about or why we spelled it with a Y? Does anybody know why is it LYNX? Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about that because I think it's looking at it from this point today, I think there's a little bit of learning. So LYNX, L-Y-N-X, is twofold. There's two meanings of links. One's the obvious one, connections, being with people. But then Florence came to us with the idea and said, well, I think we should go with LYNX, L-Y-N-X. She said, I'm doing some research, and Florence, by the way, is a master of puns, and this was not just a pun suggestion, this had deep significance. This was because we were thinking about connection, but in a new way. And she said, well, there's this thing about the animal, the lynx, which is literally why we went with that, but there's significance in that meeting of the animal. And that meaning here, as I find it on my phone here, was really about illuminating, seeing people. The animal of a lynx, if you didn't know, it really just has a piercing eyesight and a piercing way of connection. And this kind of, there's other meanings in Greek about lynx, about luminescence, about connection. And we were like, okay, let's go with LYNX Project because we're a, hip art song group coming out of Eastman and wanting to do this work. And I think another side note here is that the reason why I got invited to join this group is because Caitleen and Florence came to me and said, Steve, you're a good singer, but there's something about your eyesight and about your connection with people, and we want you to be a part of this group because of that. Where am I going with all this? I think where I'm going with it is, in reflecting on that choice, I want to celebrate, I think, what's come out of it. One, it's that we've challenged ourselves to not only just make music, but to see people for who they are. And that small change of just a spelling has meant that we're not just here to create music for music's sake and to just blow dust off of old scores, but to see people for what they need, what they want to contribute to art and to music, and to make art and music anew. And so I'm just really grateful for all the people who have allowed us to create LYNX, not just because of connection, but because of celebrating the uniqueness of individuals and seeing people. I've had the joy of seeing a select group of important advisory members for this organization, and that's the Amplify Advisory Council. We obviously, out of the work of commissioning and working with young poets, we thought that we wanted to give them an opportunity to be leaders of this organization. And over the past 2 years, specifically 2.5 years, I got to see and connect with these wonderful council members, Burke, Aiden Levy, Mitchell Robbins, Rithik Sinhasan, and Darren Stella, each bringing original ideas to how we can make art, how we can be celebrating autism and words of the non-speaking community, and how we can be presenting this not only for just this group, but for Chicago, for the world. And so I'm here to say all I've said, but also to celebrate this significant group of leaders who, while LYNX will be ending its time as an organization, these are the leaders that are going to keep their ideas going and keep our work as artists and as community builders together. So thank you for allowing me to go on that journey. And I guess I'll wrap up with one other thing. Because this tour into Google Drive has given me a lot of benefits and a lot of things to think about, but I thought that there was one other document that was interesting. And it was a document that was called Intent to Participate. And this was a contract that Caitleen and Megan made Florence and I sign that said, Code of Collaboration. Here it says, I recognize that my artistic and personal integrity and my honest opinions are critical to a project like this to survive and flourish, and I intend to commit fully to all aspects of production and performance. My ideas are always welcome, as is my constructive criticism. You wrote this really well, Caitleen. I will immediately discuss any and all issues, concerns, and problems that arise with Caitleen and Megan. Sign here. Well, I signed that. But I say this to you all as being here. You all have, by being here at this performance and others, you've signed this with us. Your code of collaboration has meant so much to us, and we're really thankful for that. And in my honest opinion, as you asked me to say, this work has changed my life. My life is young, but it will continue on with me. So thank you all, and I hope you enjoy these performances. I'm going to read now a poem by a wonderful council member, Aiden here, who's contributed this just for today's event, and it is called In a Big Magical World. In a big magical world, quiet secrets noisily fill thoughts in my head. Nowhere to go, nothing to be said. Deserts behold God's majesty. Mother Nature reigns over skies swirled. In a big magical world, I am here, inside my head, nowhere to go, nothing to be said. Ebb and flow of tide creep upon beautiful sands pearled in a big magical world. In the lonely and tired brain, no soaring sounds escape their deathbed. Nowhere to go, nothing to be said. On a perfect day, my words flow to your ears across a big magical world. Everywhere to go, everything to be said. Thank you, Aiden.
This next piece is Lucky by composer Joel Balzun with poetry by Luke Burke. Want my voice to work. 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 So sorry my body won't cooperate. Want my voice to work. So sorry my body won't cooperate. I am trying my best. I am trying my best. I am trying my best, but my body won't listen to my brain. But my body won't listen to my brain. because they have me. Because they have me. Because they have me as a son. Because they have me as a son. Because they have me as a son.
This next piece is called I Belong. It's by Rosśa, Crean, and words by Nina Szabo.
I belong.
Wonderful, beautiful, beautiful job. So as Quinn mentioned, that was I Belong by Rosśa with poetry by Nina Szabo. Can you believe that Nina was in elementary school when she wrote the text to that music? She wrote the text, and I think that the message that she conveys can be seen through the eyes of a child, but it's the same mantra that one would carry into adult years. I also want to shout out Quinn. We had some last-minute illnesses, and Quinn filled in at the last minute. So can we give an extra snaps or hand waves for being a savior and coming in and helping us? Thank you so much. All right, next up in our program, I would love to welcome Carlos to the stage. Carlos is a poet that was selected to be a part of the Amplify series last season. So thanks so much for being here.
Carlos has told us this is the biggest experience of his life. And you've invited us all into this space with a spirit of welcome. As parents, how can we say thank you? Carlos says to the creators, the artists, and to all of us here at LYNX. Here was finding, after years of reasonable people turning away, you are people of influence, and nothing happens in the safe zone. Where will you take this fine notion you've received? You cannot be the same now. After meeting my people, now that you know, you know. You cannot forget what you've learned here. You have an obligation now to amplify. That is to expand, to make larger, to increase, to make stronger, to crank it up. You have an obligation now. You artists are a venue of advocacy. I take you with me. I can never forget the kindnesses. I never overlook you. What has happened here will be amplified. So artists, how will you speak into the world? Thank you, Matthew, Sam. Carlos was so happy that Sam was, I think, about as tall as him when he met him. Yeah. Steve and Florence, Caitleen, I'm sure we're forgetting all those here at LYNX. Thank you for bougie venues and getting my voice, our voice, into the world. There is nothing else. Except celebrate. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Except celebrate. Say thank you.
Carlos and Leah, thank you so much for sharing those incredibly moving words. We're so happy that you can all be with us this afternoon. It's very, very special. For the next piece, I am thrilled to introduce baritone Nicholas Ward, who will be performing In the Dark Night, composed by Tariq Al-Sabir with text by Michael Zepf. Nick has been an invaluable artist for LYNX, and we're so happy to welcome you back.
Dark night, in the dark, dark night, when the moon was white, in the dark night, in the dark, dark night, when the moon was white, my sorrow was out of sight, the world was looking all right. My sorrow was out of sight, the world was looking all right. The world was looking all right. My sorrow was out of sight, the world was looking all right.
Hello again. As Michelle mentioned earlier, my name is Olivia, and I am one of the co-teachers, or was one of the co-teachers of the Composition of a City program that is a part of LYNX Project. For those of you who have not heard of this program before, Composition of a City is a cross-genre program that walks students through the process of writing a song using core elements that are found in both classical music and hip-hop music. I, along with other LYNX artists like Caitleen and Christina, developed this program alongside hip-hop artist Aasha Marie Francis. When we started this program, actually, we didn't exactly know what it would look like to talk about these two genres with students, and Aasha was the one who said this really has to be a songwriting program if it's going to involve hip-hop music. So the elements that we have walked through that are shared in these two genres are storytelling through poetry/lyrics, poetic devices, sampling, which is the process of using pre-existing material to create new music, melody, collaboration, and live performance. In the fall of 2019, we did our pilot program with about 8 students at Sunshine Gospel Ministries in Englewood. And while the pandemic derailed our spring 2020 program plans, thanks to a grant from the Music Academy of the West obtained by Christina Juka-Kraus, we were able to create a digital curriculum for Composition of a City. This curriculum was a resource to us and one that has since been used by many music teachers across the city of Chicago and beyond. For the past 3 years, North Lawndale College Prep has been the home of COAC. The students at North Lawndale College Prep had 0 class in-school music or after-school music programs. But through COAC, we have seen these students put their own stories, challenges, and dreams into their songs, produce their own beats, learn to harmonize, perform pieces on the piano, collaborate with one another, and gain the confidence to sing solos for larger events outside of school. We've had students share their songs about love, heartbreak, coming out to their community, frustrations with gun violence, experiences of racism and sexism, mental health struggles, broken friendships, their hopes for the summer, their favorite wrestlers, and much more. It is difficult to describe all the ways COAC has reshaped my worldview as a musician and a music teacher, but I will share a couple. Learning from Aasha as we taught and developed this together has helped me to acknowledge that a lot of the music techniques and music learning methods that we as classical musicians often centralize and treat as genre neutral and fundamental in music education are in fact fairly genre specific to classical music. So it has been helpful to acknowledge that and also broaden my own understanding of music learning methods. And before we started this program, I suspected that students with no formal music education training probably still had really incredible compositional ideas to share, and this is definitely true. But through this program, I learned that when we started with composition, these students see vocal training, instrumental training, digital audio workstation training, writing classes, and learning some forms of notation as the tools through which they are then able to remember and share their musical ideas. And I've been amazed how this motivation, how motivating this can be for students to remember that the tools that we have to share with them are all intended to help them further express themselves. I am so incredibly grateful to Florence and Michelle and Caitleen and Christina and Aasha for all that they have poured into the collaboration of this program. And now we have a message from my co-teacher Aasha, who would love to be here. She actually moved to Florida at the very end of 2023. So she is no longer in the city, but she was gracious enough to send a message.
Hi, my name is Aasha Francis, and I had the privilege of teaching the composition of a city program for the LYNX Project alongside my colleague and friend Olivia Doig for nearly 3 years. It's really hard to believe and sad to see it come to an end. What a wild, amazing, fantastic ride. Each time I had the opportunity to teach this program, I got to see students come alive, see students come out of their shells, see students who had anxiety about writing, write beautiful poetry or music or play piano or just come alive on stage. I approached each year with eager anticipation, just wondering what personalities would be in the room, what would they bring out of us, what would we bring out of them. What I really love overall about the program was just seeing it build literacy and build skills and also give students access to music education, learning about the business, learning about song composition, people who were rapping for the first time, people who wanted to play piano for the first time. And man, it really is overwhelming to just kind of see something just from start to finish. And I want to say to everyone in the room tonight, thank you for supporting this program. Thank you for supporting the LYNX Project. And to all of our students, we are so proud of you. And I hope in a few years, months, weeks from now, I'll see amazing progress in your life as an artist and musician. And I'm glad that I was able to be a part of that.
And Michelle have put together a slideshow of some of the work in action.
Start from the top. 1, 2, 3, go. There's a family dances happily. What contrast do we see in the poem that we played in this room? Because we talked about bad fathers, but what's the contrast with this song? He's praising his mom, right?
Story. So what do you think the story behind this might be? Yeah, I think, we're trying to, why?
Like to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
You want to go to this side. This is the government site where you want to go. So this is copyright.gov. You can take a photo. When you write your music, if you write your poetry or any lyrics, this is the site you want to go to.
Something that like this, I look to spend times for London, but we have for.
Heavyweight, a pain that cut us deep. It tear apart our dreams of home and leave us the weak. We try to mend our shattered hearts, but the peace just won't fit. All the love we heard so dear is gone is just a bit.
Short song to share with you from Composition of City. This is a song that a few students wrote together last year called Healing Journey.
The scissors in the past got me feeling lost. The situations in the outcome got me roaming in my thoughts. Yeah, my head is spinning, don't know what to do. Mentally ill and messed up, just trying to push it through. Depression has a toll on me, anxiety through the roof. This path does not end. God has sent you on this road to see you shine, to watch you bloom, to turn you into a better person and person. Self-love is easy. Once it's there, you know you want it. Live, love, laugh on your healing journey.
So in addition to the Amplify series, which we've been hearing some of the beautiful works that have come out of that, and we will continue to hear more, we've learned a little bit more about Composition of a City. I also want to share about our accessible poetry classes that the LYNX Project has been running. We've been running, I think at this point there were 4 sessions. Those are run by Ralph and DJ Savarese, who are a father-son duo who teach this class together. Ralph is a writing professor at Grinnell College, and unfortunately they couldn't join us tonight because he's actually having his retirement party today. Very well deserved. And DJ is a non-speaking poet, an activist, and film producer, very multi-talented in many ways, and so they wanted to share some words with you all since they couldn't be here in person, and I'd love to invite Steve to read those words.
So from Deej, dear LYNX community members, we are sad to see you closing your doors. Thank you for hiring and paying us to have fun together. Thank you for valuing the communication, literacy, and artistic growth of alternatively communicating autistics, and for asking us to design and teach the courses. We intend to continue the work we started, and we'll have our first post-LYNX class this summer. We will especially miss you, Caitleen, Michelle, and Flo. Your assistance was invaluable to us, and we will especially miss hearing the hard-won words of alternative communicators brought forth in the rich cadences of LYNX singers each spring. With heartfelt gratitude, we hope that each of you goes forth into the world rising and thriving, and carrying with you a deep understanding of why this work and our students' voices matter. Thank you, Deej.
Thank you, Stephen, and Deej, and Ralph. Up next, we'd love to share some words from a very important writer in our community from our first season of the Amplify series, Rithik Sinhasan.
A breath of fresh air. That is what LYNX brought into so many autistic lives. The first concert was a magical experience for me and my friends, as we heard our words transformed into song. It was the start of an incredible journey of inclusion. Relationships were built through get-togethers, Zoom meetings, and more concerts. It was an honor to be on the advisory council and help put together presentations and welcome new members to the LYNX family. One of the highlights for me was corresponding with Daniel, one of the talented musicians who performed my songs. We discussed what LYNX stands for, and I want to share it with you. L, for learning about autism, and those whose voices may not otherwise be heard. Y, for yearning, for a time that autism gets easier to handle. N, for the musical notes that create expression for the listener. X, for the excitement when my words were brought to life in song. I will forever be grateful for my LYNX family, especially Caitleen, Megan, Stephen, Florence, and Michelle.
We want to say thank you to Rithik for sharing those beautiful words. For the next piece on the program, Nick will join us back on stage for a song cycle called Hope by Michelle Isaac and poetry by Benjamin Smidt. The text from this piece originally comes from an essay Benjamin wrote called Hope, which tells his journey from feeling trapped to overcoming obstacles and finding his voice and purpose through family and faith. Michelle Isaac, who is joining us here this afternoon, beautifully set Benjamin's text to a 5-song set. Benjamin's words, along with Michelle's music, is the epitome of what the Amplify series is about. I hope you enjoy.
Feel trapped with no way out. Only thoughts and no vehicle to deliver those thoughts. That was my life, and I was trapped with no exit. This was the case until I was 12 years old. I wanted to talk so bad, it piloted my every prayer. Hope comforted me, because I knew that one day God So in 6th grade, a necessary connection was made, and the rest is now a story titled Hope. During my 6th grade year, I wasn't able to do much of anything. I had no challenge, no friendships, and I deeply craved both of those things. I always just wanted to die, because I had no life. At least that was my perception at the time. At school, I worked on getting the basics. They had no clue that I already knew them. And I would get so frustrated and livid when I couldn't show them the correct response. I so desired to learn, yet at that time my dream was off the table. I did have 2 good things going for me, though my family and my trust in God. I had a mustard seed of faith and a hope that God would eventually send the sunshine. That was my comfort at the time. The 2nd semester of 6th grade, everything started to become hopeful. In December, my parents had met a lady from a church nativity program named Kristen. I started working with her a few times a week. She had given me a ton of challenges. I was introduced to so many rich topics: pre-algebra, poetry, wars, and hard readings that actually made me think. It was so exciting for me, but also terrifying and hard. During the first few months, my arms ached because I was pointing and using my arms, wrist, and fingers for long periods of time. My challenges during my RPM lessons were major during the time, as concentration, sitting, thinking, and writing were all unpracticed things. Yet I grew, and all of that became another common practice in my life. I was also afraid that eventually I would fail. I didn't know if I would ever have a voice like I do now. Still, I worked. Soon I had choices, and then a word. I never knew how liberating one word would be. But I finally was able to express that had never been plausible or attainable in my life. It was a big ordeal. A couple of months later, one word turned into a sentence, and that turned into paragraphs and essays. Conditions in my life began to change, because I was now heard. Life became beautiful. I could have friends, go to school, take finals, chat with my parents and cousins, have a sleepover with a friend, share a church, and the list goes on and on. I was freed from the snares of hopelessness. In all of this, I found part of my purpose. Even though at times I still get too emotionally involved with what I lack. I have, though, learned much. I now treasure what I was taught by the Lord. Beauty comes from overcoming pain and obstacles in life. You see, during that time of anguish and anger towards God. I hoped that one day God would eventually use it all and make a treasure from all the pain. He did just that, and since finding my voice, I am hopeful. That is how hope came to be.
Thank you both so much for that beautiful rendition. Now, I'd love to welcome to the stage a face that we all know and miss. Caitleen Kahn was a founding member of LYNX Project and was LYNX's fearless leader as executive director for many, many years. She was at the helm when the organization pivoted to becoming based in Chicago, and now we're able to see the fruits of her labor by our connections with everyone in this room this afternoon and joining virtually. Please welcome Caitleen.
Hi, everyone. It's really wonderful to be here. Thank you so much, Michelle and Florence, for this beautiful event. What a gift it is to be able to sit and enjoy a LYNX event. It's truly such a testament to the work you've done. Thank you. My name is Caitleen Kahn. I know most of you. I'm one of the founding members of LYNX, as Michelle said, and I was the executive director for, if you can call it, 8 seasons, 8 beautiful, beautiful seasons. It's bittersweet to be here today, but it's also beautiful. As my very wise 3-year-old daughter tells me, I can feel things, 2 things at once. So I appreciate that. And it's so heartwarming to see so many of the faces who built the powerful work of LYNX with us. There are a lot of things I could say today, but mostly I just want to say thank you. Thank you for 8 incredible seasons that changed my life. Thank you to our team, past and present. Thank you to the supporters who made it possible. To the incredible city and arts community of Chicago. If you know, you know. What a truly inspiring, warm, amazing, and vibrant place to grow this work. Thank you to each and every artist who took this leap with us. Poets, the composers, pianists, instrumentalists, rappers, and singers. Thank you to the teachers and to the students-to-be. To the volunteers who made our work and events possible. Thank you to my family for their unwavering support throughout the years and for making it possible to be here today. To every person who showed up for our events and brought that energy. I have so much gratitude for all of you, for the people who came together and made the community that is and was LYNX. And there are a lot of ways, there are a lot of stories I could tell, there are a lot of ways I could try and neatly tie this up, right? Or things I could say. But I hope that in the work that we've done, and in all the beautiful words that all of you have shared, that a lot of that's been said already. And I think one of the things we've learned is not all of it has to be said out loud. Spoken word isn't always necessary. I'm so happy to see you all today and to know about everyone who's joining us from the live stream. I'm really grateful as I look back on the memories of the hundreds of folks who've touched this work and who were part of this work, and some who have gone on to other great things. So thank you. As the work of LYNX formally ends, I know that what we did here, that the values and the mission will continue to live on in all of us in bits and pieces. Thank you for sharing yourselves and for being a part of our story. I'm looking forward to seeing what you all do next. I look forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Caitleen for sharing those beautiful and very wise words. Caitleen, it was so special to work alongside you, and we're so thankful that you and your beautiful family made the trek to be here with us this afternoon. We are starting to near the end of our program, but I do want to share a few more pieces with you all. Florence and I will be performing 2 pieces back to back for you. The first is Dare to See the Beauty, which is composed by Corinne Klein with text by Matthew McGrath. This piece was from last year's Amplify series, and Corinne is a student here in Chicago at the DePaul University and was a sophomore when they wrote this piece. This one is about being brave and seeing the beauty in the world around us, which I think we can all continue to do. Following that, we will perform Have a Happy Mind by Nico Gutierrez with poetry by Pablo Hernandez. Sometimes it's easy to feel bogged down by the complications and responsibilities of life. But once in a while, some of us, myself included, need a reminder that it's the simple things that make us have a happy mind.
My name is Florence, and I am the artistic director and a founding member of LYNX. I've been enjoying my time sitting here at the piano because public speaking is never my forte, pun intended, but I wanted to share a few words. One fateful afternoon in September 2013, while I was a collaborative piano student, the trajectory of my life took a fortuitous turn. I knocked on the door of a singer who was in the middle of a lesson, and as it turned out, she needed a pianist. This singer introduced herself as Caitleen, and as they all say, the rest is history. So when Caitleen, Megan, Steve, and I first came together and LYNX was formed, I never could have imagined the ways in which this organization would grow. But I knew I wanted to be part of something that could change the world. I mean, don't we all? And through this organization, this community of people that we met along the way, the poets, composers, the families, the students, well, my life ended up being the one that changed. I still remember the first time meeting the writers for the inaugural commissioning season. We had just performed the night before in Cincinnati, so I asked one of the poets when we met at the park what he thought of the performance. And he letterboarded how the algorithms of the sound waves moved and affected him. I was completely blown away by his depth of imagination and understanding. And since then, time has flown, and we've had 5 commissioning seasons and released an anthology and a CD along the way. And while this chapter is coming to an end in a few short months, the relationships that we've cultivated and the memories that we've shared, I know I'll carry with me the rest of my life and endeavor to amplify those voices of our community in the arts and beyond. Thank you to all our writers for bursting our hearts and minds and ears open. Thank you to the community of artists, the students, and educators for inspiring us to dream, create, and share. Thank you to our funders, our donors, our volunteers, our friends, and our families for supporting us through all the beautiful small things. For in the wise words of my mentor, Winnie the Pooh, sometimes the smallest things take up the most room in your heart. How lucky I am to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard. I was prepared. So now I'd like to invite my friends Olivia, Michelle, Quinn, and Nick to perform one last song. And it was written by Balzun, who was a student at the same time as we, the founding members, were at Eastman. And the words are by Ryan Harris. This is my voice.
understanding of how autism might make that look different.
This won't stop the hard truth that with stillness hard to find we are beings too within this new reality. A voice can be found without words flowing from the mouth. This anxious life won't change the hardships that go with it. This new imperfect realities with the pain that senses provide to share the importance of this new reality. Right reality is worth living without a voice to be
I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us here this afternoon. As I mentioned before, for those of you that are in person, on the live stream, and even to those that just couldn't make it this afternoon. We're so sad that this is our final performance, but it means so much to us that our invaluable community has stuck with us through it all. I'd like to think that it was meant to be not only that I found LYNX Project, but that LYNX Project found me, and that I was able to be a part of this journey during my time. There are way too many thank yous to say, and I'm sure that I will forget some of them, but I first and foremost want to say thank you so much to our writers for sharing their incredible words with us and letting us be a part of that journey with you, to our incredible artists, composers, creatives, students, educators, everybody that was a part of this process. I want to thank our board members, and specifically for Stephen and Victor for being here and helping us with this event. Thank you so much to our wonderful guest speakers that came in and shared their beautiful words with us. Thank you to Chris and the whole team at the Fulton Street Collective, Jose, Tim. Thanks to Lewis for being here, and we're excited to see what you've created. I want to thank Jeremy for basically being another LYNX employee this whole year and helping us with every single event. Thank you to Andy for being in the sensory-friendly room and just being such an invaluable member of our community. I would be remiss if I didn't thank our artistic director, Florence, who was really a kind of a partner in crime in this year as we just tried to see where things go, and so you've been really incredible to work alongside. I think that's all. I think that's it, folks. Yeah, thank you doesn't cut it, but those are the words that we have to share.